tip everything over this way and lift it back and go the other way. So because these hips and trunks cancel out, it's hard to see because there's nothing obvious. It's nothing obvious. Okay? So right, left, lateral, we can move the top of the slinky or we can move the bottom of the slinky. At the end of the day, you get the same angle change. What I mean by that is I take this, click and drag it like if it was on a computer screen. Click it, drag it, rotate it. I get the exact same change in position. Cool? All right, let's go transverse. Transverse is a little tougher to draw. So I'm just going to demonstrate it and see what happens. Right transverse trunk, left transverse trunk. Right transverse trunk, left transverse trunk. Clues in the clothing. If you don't see the clothing move, and even if you're analyzing, someone, a swimmer or someone who doesn't have a shirt, they have clothes. The skin is kind of nature's clothes. You can literally see the skin moving when you're moving your trunk. It's the clues. If you don't see my clothing move, see the difference? This is all hips. Remember, was it Happy Gilmore? All in the hips. All in the hips. Who was that? Chubbs. Oh, pour one out for Chubbs. Okay, here's the deal. If I twist my trunk to the right, I'm looking at my right hip now. I mean, obviously there's different degrees I could do, but if I go all the way to the right, I'm now looking at my right hip. So how would we have to rotate the bottom part? I'm rotating the top when I do this. How would we have to rotate the bottom in opposition to get the same motion? So when I move the bottom and I do this, your instinct is to say, oh, this spun to the left. Yeah? But the motion was right. Because when I go from here to there, what hip am I looking at? Last time I checked, that's my right hip. I had the same change. Remember, lefty-loosey is only from one perspective. Righty-loosey is from the other perspective, right? I mean, I can loosen something by spinning the other side to the right. It's just that I always kind of look at it from the smaller little nuts perspective. This is right transverse trunk. This is also right transverse trunk. This is left transverse trunk. This is also left transverse trunk. Another way to look at it, if you're like, you can still keep everything to your comfort zone. You can still bring everything back to the smaller piece, moving about the bigger piece. If you say, what position am I starting in, roughly anatomical, from my trunk's perspective? And then I do this, and you're like, oh my God, I don't know. That's okay. Go back to the smaller piece, move it, and say, okay, whatever I did, I know that if I could see how I'd have to twist my trunk to go back home, then I can infer how I had to move when I left home. Does that make sense? So even though I moved the pelvis, I could say, all right, how would I have to twist the trunk to go home? Wouldn't I have to twist it to the left to go back home? So how do you think it had to move to go away from home? Right transverse. So regardless if you're kind of having a tough time seeing the opposition stuff, just remember, go back to what you're comfortable with. How would I have to twist to go back? Then you can infer how you had to twist it. Easy peasy. Okay. It can get a little harder, of course. Let's look at an example. Let's see. I'll tell you what. I'll just do it. Look, you're about to witness some uncontrollable volitional shakes while I try to do this, all right? I'm okay, I'm not seizing. I'm just old, man. 8 pound, 7 ounce baby Jesus. Please don't let me pull a muscle. Okay. If you can't see, see. Do you know what I mean by that? If you can't see, see. I want you to analyze my trunk motion. And I want someone to give me some input. Talk about it. Use layman's terms to make sure you're talking about the same motion. Like, okay, when the feet go to the right, all right, when the feet start going to the left. That's okay to use those terms until it gets time to tell me about the motions. Okay? Oh, they have a name for those exercises. What are those called? Windshield wipers, okay? So, in essence, all I'm doing is just flipping the script. Instead of moving the top part of the slinky about the bottom, I'm just moving the bottom part of the slinky about the top. But it's still the same changes that are occurring. It just looks different. Okay? Come on, I'll give you a minute. Think about it or talk about it. Go.